Okay, today we were playing a game on Hanamura. We are in the gold SR range, and we'll be playing Soldier 76 on attack and Zenyatta on defense. And our current team composition is Reinhardt, D.Va, Soldier, McCree, Mercy, and Lucio. It reminds me of a simpler time, back when this was just what every team looked like, because these were basically the only good heroes in the game. So much simpler. So we're starting this game partway through, because the first minute or so of this replay is missing. What we missed was included in the email. Basically, we went up the staircase on the right-hand side out of the spawn. There was a Lucio just kinda sitting there. So we fought him, then we went up into the house opposite the choke point, found the enemy soldier up there, chased him off, and now we're where we are right now. Which, as we might notice, doesn't look like it's going super well. We are also in super widescreen today.
Soldier's low.
So that's too loud. That's too loud. So the Zenyatta part of this game is really good. So we died, but we get to be revived just in time to definitely contribute to the capturing of this point. Good job, team. You made this. I made this. The tire was coming. It's broken. Reinhardt actually killed it and the other Reinhardt with Fire Strike, so he's feeling good about that one, probably. So now we are going to grind on the second checkpoint for a while. Because as you might notice, this replay is still kind of long, despite missing the first minute or so of the game. So we want to go up this way. I don't remember if the team actually comes up here with us. No, they do not. We have managed to pick off their soldier. Shouldn't have really happened, but it happened, so we'll take it. So we're just running in straight through the front door. We have a Junkrat up there shooting down at us, which is super inconvenient. And now a lot of ultimates are happening, so we duck out of the way. Their soldiers up there with tac visors. A very risky proposition. There goes the cat. Cat doesn't want to be in here anymore. Cat's gone now. Finally, I have my arm back. So we knew Soldier was using tac visor because we heard him use it here, and then we start poking our face out of the ditch again. We know where Soldier is, because we killed him, personally, and then he got revived, and then he did this. So we knew where he was, so it's pretty risky for us to then poke our face back out of the ditch again. However, he doesn't kill us, so we get away with it. It's not, this is kind of nitpicky, but it's not very efficient to keep shooting D.Va's mech after the mech has been destroyed, because those bullets aren't doing anything, and we aren't actually hitting baby D.Va. We're probably planning to use tac visor, so it doesn't matter, because that immediately refills your ammo anyway. However, this isn't really a great position to use tac visor in, because, I mean, it's kind of hard to use on the low ground anyway, and it's also easier to get killed if you're on the low ground. We know that the soldier is still up there, because we see him get revived in the kill feed again. So their Mercy is making sure he definitely doesn't die. He is in a really good position. So if we're gonna use tac visor, we have to actually try and kill him, because he's just gonna shoot us in the back and kill us otherwise, which is exactly what happened. So even though we've kind of been winning this fight for a while, we have not been winning it enough, so we don't actually get anywhere. We don't actually need to come and stand on the point, because there's kind of no reason for us to do so. We'd rather be up on the high ground, but our team didn't want to go up there with us, and it's kind of hard for us to contest the high ground by ourselves as Soldier. But there's no reason for us to be walking into the point and into the people that we're shooting at, because that just makes it easier for them to kill us. We can just go and stand over by the doorway, basically, and that's perfectly fine. We can still shoot at all the people we're shooting at, but we're safer because we're further away. Or we could go stand over, like, near the doorway next to the balcony, because there's, like, a large health kit behind us that we can go and get if we really need it. There's no reason for us to be standing on the point, is the main crux of the point. That was a really good sentence. Use point, like, 5 times in the same sentence. Really good English. English is a bullshit language anyway, so don't worry about it. Here comes fire in the hole. Doesn't affect us. We never actually see it. English is like the language that just pins down other languages in the bathroom, stabs them in the kidney, and then runs off with their nouns and verbs, you know? Like, it's a really stupid language. This is a really stupid fight that we've been in for a little while as well, so there's not really much point to put the biotic field down right there, because, like, tac visor is gonna kill you through biotic field regardless, so, like, there's kind of no reason to use it. But Lucio drops the beat, so we just run up on the soldier and kill him anyway, because he wasn't really allowed to do that, and he gets punished for it. This gets kinda awkward. Now she's dead. Wasn't a very good use of company resources, but she killed both of our supports with it, so what the fuck do I know? So we're trying to push in here and make big plays while our supports are dead, so this is pretty unlikely to happen. Worth noting that after you fire 4 bullets continuously, your weapon starts to spread. So part of playing soldier is trying to manage that, where after 4, because you really see it right here, where we're like holding like over Mercy, but all the bullets just spread around her. After, you want to start like releasing every now and then after the bullets start spreading, so that you can contract the spread again. Blizzard did nerf this at one point, where like as long as you just stopped for half a second, it became perfectly accurate again. And there were all kinds of like ridiculous macro things out there where like you could fire automatically and it stopped for like 1 frame, so that stopped the spread and all that. It doesn't quite work like that anymore, but you still want to like ease off so the spread is actually manageable and you don't just like totally miss people like we did with the Mercy right there. It's 4 shots. Then it starts spreading. I'm pretty sure it used to be 5, but I know it's definitely 4 now. So we got killed. Our supports were dead, so none of that was terribly likely to work out anyway, because both of our supports were dead. It's really hard to win a fight if you have no healers, because you just kind of get chipped down and die. And that's just how it is. Supports are pretty important, as it turns out. So D.Va's up here performing an illegal maneuver, and we were kind of taken by surprise by the D.Va, but there's also a Junkrat over here shooting at us. So tried to shoot the trap, but McCree's gone and walked onto it, but he managed to not die. So their D.Va has just been rezzed behind us. Right there. If we're paying attention to the kill feed, maybe we get lucky and we can kill her again. If we, like, turn around and... because she died on the walkway behind us, so maybe if we turn around and look quickly, we can actually kill her before she gets back in her mech again. But that would depend on which way she's facing. So, their soldier, we were fighting him, we drove him off, he ran outside. We're in kind of an awkward position, but I would just start using High Noon right now, honestly, because there's, like, people up there. Granted that people are trying to hide out of the way of High Noon, so we wait for that to end. Then Mercy's like, fucking hell. And she ends up dying. Mercy's like the only one we get with the tack visor, but honestly, that's a perfectly fine use of company resources to just kill Mercy, because Mercy's a pretty important member of a team, as it turns out. We put the biotic field down here for not much reason, because it seems like we're like, oh fuck, Junkrat's tire is coming, and we put down the biotic field. It's not going to save you. And it just ends up doing nothing, and biotic field is a pretty long cooldown. It's very punishing to use it incorrectly. Like, if we have biotic field right here, maybe we don't feel scared enough that we run away from this Junkrat, because we can have our Helix Rocket and our biotic field, and maybe we feel brave enough to just sit there and fight him. But instead we just end up running away. Granted, Junkrat's kind of spooky, because big AoE damage. Here we get taken by surprise by Reinhardt, because we're just kind of focusing over there, and by the time we realize Reinhardt's coming, oh fuck, we done did get killed. It is important to look around and make sure that you're not being approached upon every now and then, because by the time we realize Reinhardt's there, it's already too late. So, oh, just saw the Helix Rocket skirt past our ankles, very nearly died right there. D.Va, like, again, is drastically overextending. And she shouldn't do that. She's making quite difficult for their team. I don't know why we do this. I don't know why we feel like this is the correct maneuver. I'm sure you had a reason for doing this, but the movement itself is so bizarre that I can't actually imagine what it is. Because it's just like we're sitting in the choke point and then we're like, fuck it, I'm gonna run in the ditch. And like, alright. And now we're just, like, down here fighting with the other soldier, and, like, we don't really get very much done, and, like, it's just really awkward, and I don't know why we did it. I'm sure you had a reason, but I don't know what it was. So, that was their Reinhardt that just jumped right past us, so that's very scary. And the thing is, though, that our only options were kind of like hang out down there or like come up here and get killed as well. This is why we don't really want to be in the ditch. Our options are kind of limited. If we're gonna be in the ditch, like if we're gonna jump in the ditch like this, not to imply that I think jumping in the ditch was the correct decision, because it wasn't, go like the other way so that you can get up near the large health kit instead, because that's better than coming all the way down here, because now we have to walk up through this area, and like it's just a fuck corner. At least if we're on the other side, at least if we go the other way, we're relatively off to the side and away from the enemy team, and we can like shoot at people from there, mostly uncontested. Because Soldier does want to be as far away from the enemy team as possible. He's a mid to long range fighter. McCree is the one that wants to be slightly closer, so just slightly dodged all of those missiles. D.Va probably felt really good about that one. So, we do eventually capture this point. I'm pretty sure this is the push we actually catch it on. There goes D.Va doing that again. She still shouldn't be doing that. So we got bumped off down here, and we don't want to come all the way back up, so we come around here, and we just start capping the point. And, it takes a while for anyone to notice, and now we're just gonna use Tac Visor. That's fair enough. If anything, I would've used it sooner. I would've used it just as soon as, like, Lucio appears. Because then I'm like, alright, he's coming in, everybody else is gonna be like, fuck, I have to go and stand on it, so we just start killing them as they come in. Then Soldier uses his, and he's the one that gets the first couple shots in, so that means we're pretty much boned. Here's the cat again. However, we captured the point anyway, because the enemy team just didn't want to come back and stand on the point. So, in the end, we basically ended up being the one that won the round, because we started, like, this back-capping thing that worked out in the end. It was weird. So, now we're gonna play Zenyatta, and our team, as you can see, is utterly fantastic. So, the Zenyatta section of this game is actually, like, pretty good. I don't remember anything that really stood out to me as being that much of a mistake, because we sit really far back, we communicate really well, which is not something I ever really focus on terribly, but, like, we communicate really well with this game. We, like, coordinate with, our team so that they don't overreact to the people, to, like, the one person touching the point behind them. We coordinate with the Torbjorn because, basically, like, a bunch of people come over here to start, like, fucking with the point, and we just, like, coordinate with Torbjorn and kill all of them while everyone else holds the point over there. And that's basically what happens. We're a little slow to get the orb over onto Torbjorn, considering he was, like, pretty low HP for a while in there. But this is basically what we do this entire round. We just sit back really far, we kill that dude, because he's not allowed to do that, but he tried to do it anyway. You're not really allowed to teleport through this choke point as Reaper, because you can't teleport up there because you get killed. You can't teleport into the room on the side because you'll get killed. So there's really not a great way to teleport into this checkpoint as Reaper. You kind of just have to be the frontline fighter instead. There isn't really a great flanking option. So D.Va's gotten in behind us, and us and Torbjorn are just going to drive him off, basically. We're telling everyone else to stay up front, and we're going to get her with Torbjorn. Coming around this way, because she's coming over this way. Right-click her as she comes around the corner. This gets a little awkward. She's actually going to get wrenched to death as well, is the funny part.
No, you're right, we're good.
It's been so long since I saw Torbjorn actually get a wrench kill. It's pretty funny. So, we killed him. They're still fighting over there. They're having a hard time getting through, because they have two shields in front of a Bastion and a Mercy, so they're just having a hard time getting through. And anybody that does, like, come through to try and flank, just
Come back.
us and Torbjorn are gonna kill him. And look, now it's Lucio. Thinks he's playing a flanker. Lucio's dead now. Damn, how about that?
Just if Torb, you just give a call out, Torb, and that way I can help you.
Now we're just coordinating with Torbjorn a little more, you know. This is basically what we do. Like, the Zenyatta section of this game is really good. Like, I don't think we could do very much better, honestly, because it's basically what we do. This is how you play Zenyatta. You sit really far back and you put your orbs on people. And we kill all the flankers with Torbjorn as well, as they try and, well, all the flankers, you know, implying Lucio is actually a flanker, right? So we lost our Orisa. Orisa's alive again. It does get a little awkward right at the end of this round, because we do lose this checkpoint, as you might have noticed by the fact there's still 8 minutes left in this video. So obviously we do eventually lose this checkpoint. They try and push in. Mercy uses Valkyrie. Earth Shatter happens, but he doesn't actually Earth Shatter enough people. So this part is a little bit off, because, like, we let this happen for a really long time, and it's only one person over here. We don't know who it is. It ends up being Lucio. Like, we could just poke our face into here and find out who it is, and then when we find out it's Lucio, we're probably content to just try and kill Lucio by ourselves as Zenyatta. We waited to see if he would come around the other side, which we would assume he would. He never actually does, because he's trying to boop Torbjorn instead. We could have just, like, poked our face onto the point to see who it was, and then, if we think we can take him, we start fighting him. Lucio, we can probably take Lucio as Zenyatta, you know? But we just kind of, like, let them get the first tick, which, you know, can definitely matter. That's a third of the checkpoint. And we had our ult as well, so it's not like we were at significant risk of death. So here's where it all starts to fall apart, because we lose Mercy. This, basically, the worst possible arrangement of things happens, because we use our ult slightly too late to save Orisa, and then their soldier starts using Tac Visor as Transcendence is ending. So, basically, the worst possible thing that could happen happens. And this is where we lose the checkpoint right now, because now it's just us over here to heal people. Mercy gets back eventually, but it's too late by this point. No, Mercy doesn't even get back, actually, I lied to you. As soon as Mercy got picked, things were not looking good, but then, like, we used Transcendence slightly too late, and then that has this, like, cascading effect, where then the enemy soldier is like, alright, let's do it, and then we just can't heal the team enough as Zenyatta to keep up with, like, the pressure, so we just end up getting rolled over, especially since we lost Orisa as well. Not meant to be. Not much you can do about that one realistically anyway as Zenyatta. Unless you somehow prevent Mercy's death, but she died to the explosion, so this is where it gets, like, really awkward, because this is basically where we would like to be standing as, Zenyatta during this kind of engagement, because we do want to be up on the high ground if things are neutral, but there's a fight happening up there, so we don't want to be up on the high ground. So this is basically the best place we can be standing, but it's a little awkward, because it's hard for us to get the Harmony Orb on someone unless our team starts going up or down. But we don't want to be, like, over there fighting either. So it gets kinda awkward, but that's kind of the best thing you can do, because you do still want to just be, like, far away as Zenyatta. There's still a fight happening over there. Zenyatta, they're winning the fight. They're not gonna lose at this point. Bastion's turned into a tank, which was probably unnecessary by that point, but he did it anyway. We've called out the Junkrat's below the point, and Mercy's with him, so everybody's coming down here to try and help kill them now. And they're gonna die eventually, and their deaths are gonna be super staggered, which is, like, really bad. We step on a trap, and it gets scary, but we don't actually die. They, like, look, you know, it's an ordeal. Like, the whole bomb squad has had to be deployed into the ditch to remove them. And, like, we lost Reinhardt, but it's okay. Mercy's in the gate. Like, look what's happening over here. Isn't it just absolutely fucking disastrous? Like, we do kind of just leave it, but at the same time, there's not that much we can do to help, like, other than just kind of sitting in the other end of the ditch still and, like, trying to put our orbs on people, because it's not like we can stand over the ditch and shoot down at them, because then everybody's just gonna shoot at us, because we're gonna be out in the open as Zenyatta. So, the best we could do is just, like, sit on the other end of the ditch and try to help, like, put orbs on people and shoot the Junkrat. But we also don't want to be down in the ditch, because if we get cornered in the ditch, we fucking die. So it's just a really awkward situation for Zenyatta. And, like, it's dealt with in the end. So, it was really fucking awkward. So the enemy team is, like, coming in these awkward ways. We drop really low, so we use Transcendence. I don't know that it was strictly necessary, because there's not very many people out here, but at the same time, Mercy was dead, and Transcendence builds up pretty quickly anyway, and you don't want to be the dude that's, like, held his ult and then lost the fight. We actually kill the Mercy out of Valkyrie. which is absolutely nothing short of miraculous to kill Mercy without High Noon or Tac Visor when she's in Valkyrie. Now our Mercy is in Valkyrie, which is definitely unnecessary by this point, because, like, they've been losing the fight for a while, and now they're just, like, losing the fight, you know. So, there's still a dude over there, like, it's hard for, and Junkrat's over there as well. There's not much we can do to go and deal with that just ourselves, unless somebody wants to come over there with us, so just kind of, like, set that one to the side, just, like, remember they're over there, so that we don't, like, expose ourselves and get killed. This goes a lot better than expected for a team that has had a Bastion and a Torbjorn on it as the DPS, hasn't it? Just goes to show you, team comp doesn't matter that much, honestly. Until you get to very, very high SRs. So, Tac Visor's happening, we just duck out of the way, as you do. We have had our Harmony Orb down for a little while. I mean, you want your Harmony Orb up at as much as possible. There's not really any reason Harmony Orb should ever be down. Discord Orb is, like, you want both your orbs up as much as possible. Discord Orb is dependent on you seeing the enemy team, which is not always possible, but Harmony Orb should basically always be on somebody. It takes us a while to move the orb over to the Zarya as well, and, like, Zarya's pretty low HP, and we don't want Zarya to die. We interrupt our reload a few times here, which is a little awkward as well. We are, like, shifting our orbs around, but, like, don't interrupt your reload. Like, don't do the things Zenyatta players do where they interrupt their reload, like, 5 times. So, we use Transcendence. We only just got it, so it's kind of late, but it's also, like, the earliest we really could use it, so they still don't, like, capture the point. Like, their pushes are not exactly the most coordinated. It's like a couple of people come in, they get killed, then a couple more people come in, they get killed, then we have a 20-minute fight in the ditch, and we deploy the bomb squad, and then, like, that happens for, like, 20 minutes. It's been really fucking awkward, honestly. But basically this entire time we've just been playing Zenyatta. Like, I think the Zenyatta part of this game is really good. There isn't that much to say about it, honestly. There was more to say about the soldier section, as evidenced by the fact I said more during the soldier section. Fucking Reaper, man. Here they come for the final touch on the point. They lose, like, you know, they're coming in one by one. Here he comes! And he's dead. Doesn't actually stop, charge if he gets hit by the graviton while he's charging. Common misconception. It disables your use of the ability. If you're already using the ability, it doesn't cancel it. Which only really matters for, like, Reinhardt's charge, but I've seen people be like, what the fuck, the graviton was there. Yeah, if he's already charging, he just goes through it. So, play the game. Not currently working. Let's go back and listen, and we can imagine. Nice. Do we see the cards, at least? Alright. It's always it was a good game when there's only 3 cards at the end. I once saw a game that only had 2 cards on it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what kind of game that had to be? So, not very much stands out from the Zenyatta section, because, like, pretty good Zenyatta game, honestly. The thing that stood out with Soldier is just positioning, basically, where, like, we're standing too aggressively, we could be standing... That's really weird, because, like, when we're playing Zenyatta, we're standing really far back the entire time, and, like, standing in, like, pretty much the best places we could be standing. And then, like, when we're playing Soldier, we're, like, way too aggressive and standing way too far up, and, like, moving into the people that we're shooting at. It's kind of weird. You did say you were thrown off by, like, finding the Lucio just sitting there on the staircase, so, like, I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't get to see the start of that game, because I would have loved to have just, like, imagine just coming up the staircase on the right out of the spawn and just finding a Lucio sitting there. Damn, that'd be spooky. Yeah, it's basically positioning as Soldier was, like, the only thing that really stood out. The Zenyatta section was really good, and not much stood out from that one at all, really. So, like, just positioning for Soldier was the main thing. Little bit frivolous with Biotic Field as well. It's a very long cooldown, very punishing if you use it for no reason, and you want to use it and then, like, fight in it, you know? So, so thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful.